Hey YouTube, what's up? Number 1205 for Hot Camaro channel. Today we are going to be adding a new accessory to the Camaro. This is obviously for my car specific because I've done a slightly custom mod with the front end, but there's a lot of stock stuff out there. I'm using a stock add-on and I'll get into all the details in just a second, so let's get to it. Alright, today's video subject is going to be a detachable front license plate bracket. This is a stow-in show from Big Mike's Performance. I actually spent a bunch of time on the phone talking with both Mike and Steve, the guys who own the business and do all the measuring and design and such, because the front of my car has a non-OEM front lip splitter. And everything that these guys designed for is based on OEM. Right, that's what they have access to measure and whatnot, right, and test fit. So, spent a bunch of time on the phone with them. Went through some details about how this is set up. I took a bunch of measurements using a set of vernier calipers. Sent them photos. Talked with them on the phone again, and ultimately, what we landed on was, even though Mike had thought that there might be a cause to do a custom fit to be sure that these pins would properly wrap up around the underside of that lip. What we ultimately landed on was that I was going to go ahead and order a stock kit, and that is the SNS 89A. Now, this is a Extreme Online Store, or EOS ZL1 style front lip splitter. There's another video about me putting that on, so feel free to look that up if you want more details. So I got the stock kit, and in addition to all the hardware that comes with it by default, Mike agreed to throw in some extra spacers. So the spacers that come with it are 11/16ths, and we weren't sure if some shorter ones would be in order or maybe even need a little more. So he sent me these additional sizes, so stepping down 5/8, 9/16, ½ inch, 7/16, 3/8, and if need be, for example, I could put the ½ inch and the 3/8 together, for example, and I could have a 7/8 height. Which would be a little bit taller than the 11/16. So I got a lot of options here. Plus, I could run these run these through like some sort of a saw or Dremel or something, and make them custom sized. But this stuff all just kind of worked. So pulled out my 7mm socket, removed the two frontmost screws underneath, and here we are, ready to go. I've got a 3mm Allen wrench. I have the screw and washer that came in the hardware kit, plus the original 11/16 spacer, and I already did verify that for me this is the right thickness. The way that it goes together, washer goes on the screw comes up through the bracket itself like this, and then the spacer goes over that. The whole thing goes up under the car. Tighten it up nice and tight, and then you're good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on. It actually installs really quickly. Probably takes between 5 and 10 minutes to get the thing up there and tightened up nicely, and you do want to have it tightened up so that there's as little movement or flex to it as possible, because remember, at 70 miles an hour, you got a lot of wind force pushing on the front of this bracket with a license plate on it. So I'm going to go ahead and get this thing put on, and then when I come back, you're going to see an installed bracket, and I will show you what it looks like without a plate, and then how to use it. Okay, installation complete of the bracket anyway. So there's the bracket mounted up under the car. You can see the little silver pull ring which operates the lock mechanism. That silver slot right there is what the lock mechanism interacts with. So the way that this works is you take the bracket, and you see you've got the receiving components there. So you get the pins into the bracket, and then you're going to pull the lock pin out, the lock ring, and you slide it in just a little more, and then you hear that click and it's in. And taking it out is exactly the opposite. Pull that pin, slide it right back out. That's it. It's all there is to being able to put your license plate on and take it off whenever you want. And then what I ended up with here, and again, this is where the spacers and the sizing and the particular kit all come into play. So you see the amount of clearance that I have between the back of the bracket and the front of the lip splitter. And you also see the clearance that I have all the way back from the pins to the bottom of the lip splitter. You want these to be very, very small amounts of space, especially this one, because the further down that this goes, the more that it's going to reduce the ground clearance of your car. change the approach angle in terms of like going up curbs or driveway aprons, not curbs. And then you don't want anything too close to the front of that splitter to be able to rub on it either. So, getting the right kit in the first place and then using the correct spacers to install it is key to get that thing in where it needs to go. So big thanks to both Mike and Steve for spending the time to talk with me and figuring out some options, coming up with some ideas, and then, obviously offering me having those extra spacers put in, which it turns out I do not need them, but I was very grateful to have them just in case. So that's it. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to click the like button and hit subscribe, and post your comments, including any particular topics you might be interested in me doing in the future. Ember 1205 out.